Howdy, y'all. Welcome on in. My name's Blooming Thorn, and welcome to the tavern. Hopefully, you guys are well. Hope everything is going well. That being said, got a lot of work to do. Working on making a train hall or a train hub. Not exactly sure what you would even call this. I guess a train junction is probably the right name. Basically, working on trying to make multiple lines, multiple different trains that'll have different uses for different resources that I can just send out, let them go on their way, and then come back. So should be a nice time to relax and just chill. Definitely gonna be making out of redwood and a few other objects. But also that I must work on the mob farm as well. Trying to work on getting that done, getting cake finished up with that quest, and then a few other things. We'll see how it goes. In any case, if you guys are enjoying the content, liking always does help. Subscribing if you're new, and of course hit notification bell as well. Being said, a lot of work to do. Not much time in the day to do it. Or never enough time in the day to do it. I am going to basically be chopping down redwoods, which thankfully in the nearby forests I have plenty access to. Hey Nicholas, how you doing, man? I'm doing well, how are you? Long time no see. How was your holidays? Phew. Good. Happy to hear. What are you up to today? Anything interesting? I guess because tomorrow you don't have to worry about work too much, maybe, because of New Year's? You're chilling here today? Or for other reasons, I guess. Hey, Everett. Hopefully you're doing well. Nice. How's your holidays? Were they good, y'all? Trying to get rid of all this wood real quick. I don't need this wood, but I'm getting rid of it. Yeah. Good to hear, Everett. How you been doing yourself? Probably. Okay, so I'm guessing it's from a lightning strike. Just got a lot of Robux. Nice. What are you spending it on? Or what are you planning on spending it on? Just as a thing of note, I don't know much about Roblox. I don't play it, so... But I'm still willing to listen. Probably. Clothes. So, apparel. Items. Anything in particular? If you're able to describe it. Yes, I had to been a lightning strike. I don't know many other things that would cause such a burning. No. Okay, that's fair. No worries. Chilling during New Year's, during New Year's, I realized how little I've been able to celebrate Christmas and New Year's Eve because I don't get any special feeling on Christmas Eve or New Year's. That's fair. I get that. I feel about the same way about at least New Year's. Christmas, this has been a unusual occurrence for me as well. I didn't really feel the holiday spirits. So, I understand. You guys got anything interesting going on otherwise, then? Besides the fact of chilling in Roblox? Ouch. I am hungry. Hoorah. Bought yourself a new action cam, which is smaller than your GoPro. But after purchasing it, I've been wanting a new 360 camera. But you always want something new. I get that. I get that. So it was an impulse buy then, I guess? Or it was actually kind of a need for you? For your hobbies? Alright, let's see how much we got. Saddest thing is I don't think that's enough. Do you play Steal a Brain Rot? Not that I know of, even if I knew what that was. Maybe you could describe it to me. Maybe it might interest me. Very unusual name for one thing. Considered buying the new action cam for long, but because your GoPro has felt too heavy and too big to capture real moments. That's fair. You consider playing 360 videos more? Why is that? Is that just to kind of capture the moment in like all its essence? Oh. No, I don't. I don't think I play that. I'm not one for rotting my brain, to be honest. I get too cringy about the whole endeavor, to be honest with you, Nikki. My brain gets all... I don't know. Howdy, Anna. I'm doing well. How are you? What's that? I'm just gonna leave that, because I know it'll fall with me. Ow. 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 So about that falling with me. Maybe not so much. Whoops. Because reframe 360 videos look so much more cooler. So maybe I should have bought a new 360 camera again, but I didn't know I'd feel this way after buying the new action cam. I wouldn't worry about them too much. As much as I appreciate the offer, Anna, I don't think I want it. But thank you, though. I appreciate the offer. Fudge. I don't think I want to be honest, Anna. I don't think I want any of that kind of stuff right now, so I'm good. I do hope you find somebody to work with, though. What it's worth. Nice. Well, no worries, Nicholas, then. I get it. There's always later in life. What exactly do you try to capture with it exactly, your cameras? Do you do like, I don't know, skiing or something? I know you're in Finland, so I figured maybe skiing or something, or is it something more normal? We just think it's normal. I think after this one I should be good. Alright, let's hope that's enough wood for a little while to work on some of it. It's one of those wolf creatures. You know, I think I can run faster than this, to be honest. Okay. So, it's just a way to play videos of memories that you might make along the way. Hey, Autumn. It's good to see you back. Hopefully you're well, and... What was that? Ugh. Time to go. Shaky. Oh, this thing's gonna take a while to build. It's gonna be a pain. Backing up. Backing up. Backing up. I'm not sure. I don't imagine it would go very well, though, to be honest with you. With the way certain things work without mods, you would be missing a lot of textures and stuff. And you'd be seeing me do things, I'd be like, what the heck is he doing? And it's because of a mod. So I don't imagine it would go well for the person who would try to do that. In all honesty. But that is a good wonder. But I'm pretty sure that's what happens when someone tries to join the world. I think the ash goes in here. Running out of space for wood. I definitely need to make a different storage system at some point. I've just been lazy. Alright, well, I do need to build a platform. Like a cliff. And I'm going to need a lot of stone-like materials for that. So, luckily, I mined out a quarry, so I should have enough of that stuff. It's just going to take a while to place because of, yeah. Unless I can buy an unbreakable mod. Hold on. Can I buy one of those? Wait. Space Captain. I believe it is under this one. Oh, it takes 3. Like, I'm close to getting cake. But I ain't close to getting anything else. I guess maybe chicken. The chicken, roast chicken. Maybe the sweet tea. Maybe the rice roll medleys. Crikey. Suffering. Pain. Suffering and pain. I should have grabbed the stone while I was over there, frick's sake. I didn't think about it till now that I wanted to have like a base place for the train hub. Or train junction. That's not a backpack. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, you. Go fill this thing up with a ton of stone and stuff. And transfer back over here. I don't know if Minecraft's Swedish, but I get what you mean. The fact that they have so much stuff. It was just made by a Swedish developer. That was gonna be called, what was it gonna be called? Cave Game or something like that at one point. But then the creators had to call it Minecraft. Jeez, that thing's gonna take forever to build and finish. Ay, caramba. I've actually never heard of Klarna. I have no idea what that is. What is Klarna? I know the rest of those. Yeah, I get you. I know what you mean. You mean like the fact that it was created in that area. That's the gobble. Here it is. Right? Oh. Like I said, Anna, as much as I appreciate it, I don't think I want to work with... I don't think I want to have any artwork done. But thank you, though. Okay, so that's that. I'll grab some cobble. And then we'll grab a couple of things of tough. I got any tough? Anything else? 704 tough in here. I swear this quarry mined up so many materials from when I was busy with it. It's just so much stuff just packed into there. That giant hole. The bedrock. It was worth it though, because I have a lot of materials. Up and away. So basically this whole cliffside is going to be turned into the train junction, by the way, for everyone who may or may not be curious about where it's going. It is going right here on the side of this cliff, which is going to be quite the hassle. And basically everything's going to be routed here once everything's done, and then below it will be a factory in which bronze is produced. And of course the subsequent metals and ores and any other materials that come from processing. So, a lot of work. A lot of work has to get done today. So. I have a lot of building to do to make this thing look decent. Hello, sheep. Has anything interesting been going on for you all soon, by the way, besides, fall soon, Nicholas's? Like, anything work-wise or anything else-wise? Oh, I'm just sitting here plopping down blocks for a little while. There. Kind of realized I shouldn't have done this. Well, then again, it could be darker to light. So this ain't that bad. You can go from light to dark. Well. Let's see. That's the wrong backpack. Actually, no. I need tough. And some cobble. Let me go cobble. I think that's fine. Hey, Jay. Good to see you, man. Let's go further. The trains do have to be quite wide, so I don't really have a choice. Staying busy still? In Germany now? This thing is humongous. And I'm not even sure it's even going to be even either. Which is another problem entirely. Night class. You take night class? This doesn't matter. Bruh. Fair enough. So what degree are you going for now in Germany? Frick. Okay, so business one. Okay. Fair enough. Obviously, I'm not there physically, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I did go 2 forward, and then we went 3 forward. So 2 forward, then 3 forward. I'm literally building this from scratch because I don't know what to do with it. So 2 forward, then 3 forward. Boom. And then we went for a little bit. 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say 6. The problem is that there's always either one way you're going with it, Nicholas, is that it's either... You either go so far into mods that you can't go back to vanilla, or you stay so vanilla you can never touch mods. So it's like always one or the other. And I went with mods because I feel like it makes life easier. So that's pretty much where I am. Not much, Jay, to be honest with you. Just working on building this train hub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I went 18 blocks away. But yeah, I think it's either one or the other. There's no worries, though. Minecraft's Minecraft, and, you know, that's the whole point of it. I respect you for playing vanilla and struggling with it, to be honest. But there's no shame in either or player. They're both different ways of playing. There is also vanilla mods, for what it's worth. 4, 5, 6, 7... 8. For me, there's always a line to cross. I like play Minecraft DG with the sideways mod, but something like this, I suppose I just wouldn't find fun in this. That's fair. Well, we enjoy yourself, Jay. What's worth. Frick. So like I said, no worries. I mean, each to their own. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. If anything, one thing about it, Nicholas, for me is that I like automation things. It's like where you can just kind of automate a lot of stuff. And that's where I find the beauty in the game, is that you can figure out problems like with automation that automation can fix. One of those is going to be like using electricity to kill mobs, or you can use certain machines from the create mod to automate wood cutting and having wood all the time, stone order regeneration, things of this such, having farms automated, that kind of stuff. And that's what I like about the mods. It just cuts down like the manual labor that you have to do in the game. There's not a lot of manual labor, but I feel like there are chores in Minecraft that you have to keep up with. Otherwise, you tend to lose out on some stuff. So that's the cool part. And of course, the automation part of just making different cool things out of other things. Like lapis can turn into prismarine, so you don't need to make a prismarine farm. You just gotta somehow make a lapis farm, which comes from flint. So it's this crazy conundrum to get to one thing from another thing. And so you can automate different things. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That being said, I'm also different brained, so, you know, I might just be different too, so. There is that possibility. And I take that gladly. So, just call being crazy. Let's see, so one... Okay, I just need to come down to the ground so I can see what I can visualize. I can come back up. Okay, so I know this is actually the 1, 2... And it goes in 1, 2, 3... And then it goes 1, 2, and then 1. So, nevertheless, I wouldn't worry about it much, Nicholas. Supposed to enjoy the game at the end of the day, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. As long as you enjoy yourself, that's all that matters. That being said, with ADHD, you think I'd get bored with this, but for some reason it doesn't do too much to my brain. So, which is interesting considering. 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 1, 2. Holy frick, that is off. Yeah. That's kind of how I was with the Assassin's Creed 2, is just play however you want to play it. If you don't want to do the optional, you don't have to. Most important, you're supposed to enjoy yourself. Okay, so if I go back to here with the 3's at, it was 1, 2 over 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Like, holy frick, that is off. Oh, I wonder if I was supposed to be 16, not 18 on the longer version. That could be the problem. Because it's only off by 2. That's a problem. Okay. I see the situation. And we can be mitigated and fixed. Just gotta cut a couple back and then we'll be good to go. That being said, I also find that there's other things to do in Minecraft besides, you know, mods. And that helps as well. Like, some of the mods just allow you to, like, explore and see different biomes, which is kind of cool. You see, like, biome diversity. So that helps a lot as well. Okay, so that goes there. And then it comes here and does the 2. And 1, 2, 3. And then it does the curve. And it goes 1, 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. Give me 1 second, Nicholas, and I'll read that. Give me just 1 second. I just want to do this while it's fresh in my brain. 2, 1, 2, 1. 2. And that's fair. I feel the same way about some games like Sly Cooper as well. It's just something you grew up with and something possibly you just very much enjoyed during your childhood that it's kind of hard to just bash away. So, I wouldn't give it any light of day, man. You enjoy what you enjoy. Alright, just see where I'm actually off. I'm gonna use my tape measure. What's that thing? And this is just kind of like a quality of life mod right here. That's how we don't even have to count. Just look. So that lines up back here. This lines up with that. And that lines up with that. Good. Everything lines up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wrong way. Four, 5, 6. 5, 6. That should line up, and that's where I want it to go. So, as far as I want it to go. Okay. Everything is finally lined up. Going way too long. I think Skyrim feels like that way for me, to some degree. It still kind of creates a spark of memories that I had back when I was younger. And that's just because at the time, Skyrim was really fun. Playing every different type of character. Well, I would say every type of character, but playing like every different type of side mission there was. That's probably one of the few games that I can think of that make me feel like that, along with Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank. What God thinks about brain rot. Definitely not a tough question, but definitely one of the more interesting ones that we wonder. I imagine he does care about what you ingest in terms of like brain rot. And like what is beneficial and what is not beneficial. I would say yes. At the same time, though, I would also say God gives you the intellect to know the difference of what is good for you and what's not, and how you choose to view it can be rough. Or it can be, you know, said that you should build no better, maybe. I would think he would think about it as not really good for your brain, obviously. But at the same time, humor is humor, and if that makes you humorous and it's not exactly evil in any sense, humor's humor, so what are you gonna do? And God does love humor. You know, he did create us, and we can be quite humorous at times with the things that we do. So, good question. I don't know. I honestly don't know, to be honest, but I would think that he would enjoy it to some degree. Depending on what exactly the brain rot's about. You know, like 6-7 or Rick, or what is it? Never gonna being Rick Astley or whatever you call it, being Rick rolled. There's nothing inherently wrong about being those things. It just becomes annoying to some people after a while, I guess. I don't think I'd have any problem with it. On most degrees, considering some brain rot isn't too bad. Like I said, as I said, it would depend on how beneficial it is, and what kind of benefits it's giving you. I guess that would have to be the measuring stick. Probably wants to make like a concave inside the middle. I think I will do that. For now, I just want to get like this first initial layer up. Good question, though. I've never actually thought about it, to be honest. Me and my one friend, both atheists, think of it differently. But I don't agree because I feel like I can... You can't... Is that kill? Is that what you're trying to say? And it's just blocking out the word? Just say yes. Oh, but you can't know for sure. Okay, I see. Well, that's agnostic. Well, okay, well, it's kind of like a pseudo form, I guess, of maybe agnosticism, where you believe there may be a higher power, but you don't necessarily know what that higher power is. But now, if you're saying that you are about that way about God and God alone, then I don't know. I've never known a word for that. I've actually never known a word for that. Besides maybe someone wrestling with their beliefs. That's really the only word I could probably think of would might be the word. For what you're talking about. If I'm going to be honest. Because there are plenty of people out there now struggling with their beliefs in Christianity, like especially across Europe. I've heard supposedly you guys are having a revival of sorts in a lot of parts of Europe, as well as persecution. That you know he's... So you aren't really sure if I can count myself as atheist or not. I mean, if you say you're more towards you don't believe he exists, then yes, you're atheist. But, I mean, at the same time, like you're saying to me, you don't know for 100% surety, you could say that. I would think most atheists say that anyway. I don't know many atheists who say that they don't 100% know he doesn't exist, because it can't be fully proven. That he doesn't, and nor can it be proved that he does. I mean... The best I could say is that maybe. That being said, for someone who doesn't believe in God, you do have a lot of questions about God. So that shows me you have a lot of doubts about your belief. With all due respect to your choices. That's something I see a lot of when I talk to you about God, is that you seem to have a lot of questions. Which is very uncanny for an atheist. Atheists tend to just be like, God doesn't exist and that's it. From what I've experienced. So, which is fairly cool. I think that's pretty cool that you have an open mind. I know I want this to concave a little bit. Just figuring out that process. Which is something I appreciate about you, by the way, is that you're always willing, that you're at least willing to be open to the idea. That being said, I understand what's holding you back. As we've had multiple discussions about, it's your brother. And to that level, I would wonder about your friend's past situation. Because to say you know would imply that you've had some form of pain that God might be blamed for. Maybe I'm just shooting a shot in the dark. That people who tend to say that tend to have had a lot of bad pain, that believe that God can't exist because there's so much pain in their life. But I'm a live example of that opposite answer, that pain is actually the reality of why God exists. Because there is something wrong that needs to be righted, and so... But again, there's an argument there to be made with that. So, it's been an argument for Christianity for hundreds of years. So, unfortunately, that question will never grow old. And nor will there be a perfect answer to everyone's situation. That being said, I'm sure your friend's a very sane, logical person. That doesn't seem like otherwise. He seems to maybe, based on your short answer, he has some logic behind him. Nah. Oh, let me see something. Probably wants to kind of make like these like little like hillside cliffs, like these things right here, these little podules that are kind of popping. I basically want to make it look like the cliffs kind of has some like levels to it, like that. And this could be like this. And that could be there once I add another layer and so forth. Okay, we can do that. Ow. You have no fear if I'm wrong about God not existing, but I still can't 100% say he doesn't exist. That being said, I don't think having a fear of hell is what requires you to be a believer. It is a common thing to lead people into believing in Jesus and God. With your situation, then I would say it's more about just believing the logical facts of Jesus, that he did exist. Most people can say, even scholars and atheists say he did exist. There was a man named Jesus. The people surrounding his events, like Pontius Pilate, Augustus Caesar, certain Pharisees at the time, like Nicodemus, they were mentioned. They're there. The scrolls of somewhat of the old prophets, like Jeremiah and them, have been found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. So, the stories that are there. If you're talking about, like, since in your situation it seems like hell's not the answer if you needed him to believe, it seems to be more of like a logical thing to you, which I get. Yeah, so in that case, yeah, Jesus existed, so then the question goes is, do you believe what he said is true? Would I guess be the next question is, can you believe that everything he did and said during his time on Earth is true? The thing is, I don't recall Jesus ever saying to be terrified of going to hell. No, you're fine. He never exactly said to be afraid of hell. He simply put it forward that it is a place of eternality, destruction, or finiteness, darkness, and a place of torment. That's it. There is some possibility that maybe, because we don't know much about hell, there's only a few things we know. It's hard to say, because hell is not exactly something Jesus fully went into. But he did warn people about it pretty consistently. That he didn't want anyone to face God's wrath. Which is a whole entirely different situation than hell. Because hell is like the end result. It's not the beginning. Because that's usually how Jesus always described hell, was it was the end result of everything after everything was done, and after he would come back again, hell would be the last thing to be done. So his more reality was that he didn't want anyone to be subjected away from the Father or not having ability to get to him. That's what he offered. He offered everyone the opportunity to come to God, period, and create the bridge that would allow people to cross over to where God is. That's what he offered. Your second life begins, but life begins new here in this earth when if and when you accept Jesus. That being said, I could see where your friends might get that idea. Considering some of the things you've told me about their beliefs and stuff, which I have nothing against, but as you've kind of have told me about them and how they think. What the heck did I do over there? Hold on, what the fuck did I do over here? Oh, that's right, I was creating an interior cliff design. So, like I said, I can get where your Lestadian friends can come from. And like I've said before, you don't have to be a Lestadian. You can always be I guess, a different kind of Christian. I don't really know how you would even say that. Because Christianity is Christianity regardless, and that should be the kind of idea, not necessarily like you belong to a certain sect of Christianity. I think that's a bit of baloney. I mean, I don't really care what type of Christianity people go into, as long as they believe, I guess. I don't know. Sounds kind of terrible, but that's kind of more where I'm at. I'm just appreciative that you believe, I guess. I do get your concern, or your questioning, and your thought process. You're good. If anything, heaven is the start of the physical reality and manifestation of what everything that we deal with here now on Earth is basically what we long for, is the finishing of that. Is what I'd probably say what heaven is, honestly. Heaven is the place in which the spiritual desires of our hearts, as they become spiritual, they finally connect and become what it's supposed to be in the physical manifestation with God. Such a social thing. That being said, you're not really leaving Lestadianism. You're leaving just the idea that that's the only way to believe in Christ. Which, it can be scary because it is a social thing, but that is something Jesus warned about, is that there was high possibility you would lose social things in life following Christ properly. It just comes with part of being a Christian. I'm not exactly surrounded by many friends, as you can see, and as I've told you. And I'm not exactly flaunt with comforts and blessings that would be considered, good ones here on Earth. So, I completely understand your fear, but that is kind of part of it. If anything, I'd say people who stay within that type of style are more of a coward. With respect to the religion, they're more of a coward by staying in that simply because social norms dictate it. Jesus had no problem going against the social normalities of his time to serve others and bring others to safety. But that's not me saying people are cowards, it's just the cowardly thing to do in this case. I don't doubt that a lot of your Lestadian friends are very brave for celebrating their religion so boldly. Or very courageous, sorry. Because I have done those very things of leaving behind the social comforts of what would be considered socially acceptable to follow the Christ in the right way that he has called me to be. And I did risk a lot of things. So I can understand your trepidation, but I promise you it's worth it. Because life's already tough, it ain't gonna get any easier. This just makes things, I guess, better perspective, maybe. Yeah, which I'm gratefully recognize. That's a good thing that you recognize that. And I'm not gonna shame you for it, but obviously it may not be a bad thing to come clean. You know, being good friends means being clean about it and letting him know, hey, I don't really agree that I'm a Lestadian. You know, if he is a good friend, then he'll understand that. And just being honest with him that you didn't feel like it. But again, that is your choice and it is your life. It wouldn't be a bad thing to do. In all honesty. Okay. So it's one more recent thing for your parents, which I mean I get. So you never really had that background. Does that have something to do with the issue? Must I appreciate the explanation. Not to be like cold or anything, but I am wondering logically where that has to fit in with telling your friend who's Lestadian that you don't really believe in Lestadianism or Christianity. Maybe can we see where that fits? Alright, I forget to add some like vines and hanging moss and stuff. Oh boy. Just going to take a while. Just want to say that for context, if you weren't aware. Gotcha. Well, that being said, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean you guys aren't friends or good friends just because he doesn't accept your humor. But I get your point. And I appreciate the context. That being said, if you want to continue that relationship and make it good, obviously being honest with him may not be a bad call. But that's just a recommendation, not a demand. I understand your questions. I get that they're definitely based in logic, more than the sense of fear or lack of fear. They're made in logic, which I can resonate with. Mine were based in logic as well when I wasn't believing at the time. I would say they're fairly similar questions I had about God as well, and things that kind of caused me not to believe, despite of being raised in a Christian home. So I get that. How high am I? Crikey. Alright, probably need to close this off now after this layer. Probably need to start closing this thing back off so the concave ain't too big. It's just meant to give the cliff some, like, depth, which I might have to come back through and do some more detail work on the cliff, but for now I just want to get, like, the basic structure up. If I had that wand, this would go so much faster. I can just... a ton of blocks in, like, 1 second. But, oh well. What's done is done. I may add strips of stone in as well, regular stone. Make it kind of look like it was like kind of filled in, but also kind of like had a original cliff here already. Or maybe it's just cracked and old. Don't know yet. Oh, for frick's sake. Whoop. What makes you uncomfortable with them? Was he like one of those angry activists? I can get that. Oh, cut up. I need to be able to see where this is going. Alright, cool. I'm never gonna see the inside of that area, so I do not care. Hui. Looks good. Alright, so this is going to be the layer where I cap off now. So I gotta cap off that build. Or the concave of the cliff. Could you give me like an example? I get what you mean in the fact that it seems like his whole personality is based on Lestadianism. Is there particularly what do you mean by that? I have to say, if you can't provide an example, I understand. It is quite complicated to talk about personality like that. I can completely understand if it's a bit of a problem. Or a bit of an issue. So I definitely want to cap off right about there. I think we cap this off back here. I just have to come up anyway. That gets capped off there. Because I want like the levels to kind of be different. Oh, I just had a cobble. I'm not fully out of cobble. Bruh. Alright, time to go grab more cobble. Well, so far I think I've done quite a bit. I've done quite a bit. I built a gigantic wall. Based on the Stadium is a rough translation, but I feel like it's extremely chill and feels kind of filtered or censored. So, like, what, he doesn't, like, curse and talk about, like... What's a good word for it? Like, explicit stuff, I guess, maybe? Is that what you mean? Like, he doesn't really, like, talk about media and stuff because, like you said, Lestadians don't really believe in media of most kinds, except for, like, the radio. And yes, on the explicit stuff, okay. Well, that being said, there's plenty of people who aren't Christians that don't talk about that kind of stuff too, though. Or Lestadians. And that's not really their personality, it's just the fact that they don't really believe in talking about that stuff. Right. Well, for what it's worth, I mean, is that such a bad thing? I mean, considering you know how the media is, it's not exactly like a great place to be anyway. I mean, it's not exactly criminal for him not to really believe in, or not to entertain himself with that stuff. I mean, if anything, it sounds like he has a more peaceful life, all things considered. Since me and you have had our foretaste of the stuff, and ain't exactly all that great. Wish I could just like shift right click to add everything I want to add into this backpack, but I can't. So I have to sit here and fiercely right click. Excuse me. Oh, that is true. That can't happen. I know you're not looking for an answer in this, so I'm not going to try to give you one. That being said, though, I mean, I get it. I mean, you're a smart dude, so I don't need to give you an answer for that kind of stuff. But, I mean, still. If anything, it makes the relationship more realistic. You know, you have to choose to love him in spite of his decisions. Which is a different kind of love altogether. Which will be better than any friendship you're ever going to have that's just easy to go with. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing to try to still, you know, try in spite of not being able to easily. So I think I've been in those. I've been in that kind of shoe before. I've actually done that a lot in my life, hanging out with like the people and individuals that others can't really relate to. It's just been something I've always weirdly done. And it tends to make for a better experience overall. You know, because he challenges you. That being said, I am one to speak since I don't have any friends, so... Obviously, my opinion matters probably a little to most people. Speaking like I've had thousands of friends, I haven't had many, so... But I have tried my best to learn from others and their experiences. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just so unique that people find it hard to relate to me, so... Not having opinions definitely does cause a lot of that. I feel. Not having opinions and not liking sports really makes it really hard for most people in my area to really kind of understand what the heck I'm doing. And then also kind of going against the culture and social... I know it makes people, like, have a troubled time. So, you know, I'm not surprised. He's less strict, so I can relate to him, but I don't know. I don't like how he likes to troll the more conservative friend. Oh, so he's being a bit of a bully, huh? It's not surprising, I guess. That's right. I guess I'm just covering this up. Sorry to hear that as well. That's rough. It's amazing how cruel humans can be in spite of trying to do good. Not in the good way, though. I'm just gonna layer a couple layers of these just so I can come back and make this easier. Nor do you like sports. Okay. That's fair. That is fair. Like I said, there's nothing to feel sorry for. I mean, it is what it is. I've learned to just grow accustomed with it. It's not the way things should be, but what else am I going to do, you know? Start forcing people? That ain't worth the time or the effort. Not to mention, as we've learned from certain tests, that's not exactly a real way to have relationships. You. I think this needs to be dropped down by one. I think it do. I currently have one person I know is a good friend of mine, and he's a lot older than me, but that don't matter. His name's Will, and he kind of inspired the whole channel creation, to say the least, and he's been a good friend of mine. We've had a rough time, but it's part of it. And I've had friends in the past before as well. I have had friends in the past. It's just growing up, it was... Being a military kid, it made it really rough. You know, you're moving all the time, you're having to pick up and leave. It was just easier not to make too many friends and not to make too many lasting relationships when it came down to moving. It just made everything hurt worse. And so it was just easier just to kind of let it go and not try too hard. It was just kind of part of growing up, I guess. Yes. He is a Christian. His story is a good story too. Not gonna talk about it right now unless you want to hear it, but he has a good testimony. He has one of the more like popular ones that people really want in testimonies, which is kind of weird to say. For some reason, people are jealous over testimonies for some reason. Yeah, that's not too personal of a question. He's Christian, yeah. Of course, we don't see each other too often, so. I think the last time I saw him was during a couple weeks ago. So testimonies basically is a recounting of what, at least in Christendom, it is a testimony is a statement or a verbalization of what God has done for you in your life over the time of your life. Which can be many things, like what God saved you from, what God has done. Now, in the basic sense, it's just basically a recounting of what something happened from your point of view. But in terms of Christianity, it is a statement of what God has done in your life. So, that's all it is. I feel like I've made the Great Wall of China. Accidentally. Oh well. My cousin's from a third or fourth generation, I guess. So they did fight against my ancestors, the Mongolians. We ain't gonna talk about that. What do you mean specifically? Like a goal dream, or like dreams as in like the things we have when we sleep? I just want to get this right, so that way I don't answer the wrong question. Okay, goal dream. No. My dreams have already been fulfilled through Christ, so I don't really have anything I'm trying to strive for in perfection. I'm just grateful that he loved me and saved me. I know that may sound not as great as having one, but I don't think that having a goal or a dream necessarily brings anything of permanent value. So... I guess it's kind of already fulfilled, maybe is a good way to say it. My dream's already been fulfilled, and they're already being fulfilled day by day. That being said, it doesn't make me happy, but it does make me joyful, which is content. So, I am content with the circumstances God has put me in, as best as I can anyway, in my situation. Fudge. Ow. I do endorse them. I think that people can have dreams and goals. Nothing wrong with them. It's just that most of the goals and dreams I've had in the past have kind of been removed because I had to take other things in its place. So in my situation, my goals and dreams have been fulfilled in a sense, but also have not. My human ones have been not fulfilled, and that's okay. My spiritual ones have been fulfilled permanently and will never get to change, so... is basically, I guess, how I would probably say that. So I do enjoy dreams. I don't think God has a problem with having goals. I think the issue is when our goals try to intercept his goals. And when they're more about for ourselves than for him, I think that's when he kind of gets a bit picky about it. Or a bit, you know, upset about it. So. I shouldn't even say upset, angry. Maybe, I don't know what the right word is. So I would say there's nothing wrong with dreams. It's just where the priority is of them, I guess would probably be the good question, is where you how are you prioritizing them? Because I never really ever tried to prioritize my dreams before God, in spite of like having them and hoping that it would be otherwise. I never made sure that they were prioritized. I would rather have God be prioritized and suffer than to do the opposite. No, it's fine. I used to want to do that. I only want to go to a couple places, though. I only want to go to Greece and see the Aurora Borealis in Alaska. But it's kind of become something I don't need to see anymore. Because I know I'm going to see better beauty than that in the heavenly realms, so to speak. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It ain't lame. To be honest, the only thing I think that's really lame in terms of dreams is just literally just being a piece of maliciousness. If we're going to be honest. I think that's more lame, is to just be a complete prick for like the rest of your life. Which sometimes I get is due to issues growing up, but other times for people who just want to is kind of a bit of like a really... That's what we ended up with. There's grace for that, but still, it's like, really? Makes me feel sorry for them. Or I guess pity them. So I don't think yours is lame. I think it's a decent one. It's a pretty common one around the world, and so there's nothing wrong with it. Probably could have done this yesterday if I chose to. I could have spent my last hour yesterday starting this and then finishing it today, but I did not want to yesterday. I want this to be kind of like its own little episode, working on the train junction. Oh well. Probably Probably also if I actually make like a train elevator and put them in like little cubicles. I won't do that, but that would sound so freaking cool, kind of like a Tesla thing. Like those car lots where they just put them on an elevator and store them. But no thanks. Too much work. That's fine. Alright, now we gotta do some spikes of tough to mix in with the diet, with the deep sleep. Say, don't sell yourself short, mate. That's fine. This almost reminds me of like the texture of wet concrete. Sadly enough. Yeah, I've heard about the trifold. No. No. It's just a phone. I would always say, like I said, again, as I'm going to say again and again, the only reason I would say having a fold is because you wanted a phone, you wanted a tablet, but you didn't want to pay a giant sum for both. So you just said, you know what? This is the middle ground. I get both for the price of one. So that's where I would sit with getting a fold. At some point, if my phone ever breaks, I probably will just change it over to a regular phone again. Just because at this point it's not become a hassle, it's just pointless. Because half the time I'm either watching videos on my computer or I'm watching, I don't know, like a TV show or something on my phone, but otherwise just totally unnecessary. But, I mean, if you want it for tech reasons, nothing wrong with that, I guess. I said priorities is all that matters, I guess, in that situation. Okay. Oh, deep slate. Bum 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 bum. I like this calm sound of the wind. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's a very calm sound of the wind. Almost like an ocean breeze. It's very calming. Reminds me of the sound inside of a conch shell. Or any shell for that matter, I guess. They all sound about the same. I don't know. I don't say too much into like the political side of things, so I don't know. I think that because humans are humans, we would end up ruining something no matter what way you'd swing. So there's really no easy way to say that there's one right answer over the two. Humans can be quite the despicable beings, even the best of us, and so even we try to do good, something bad ends up always coming in play, and we tend to leech toward that. Or go toward it like gnats, like moths to the flame. It would be hard to say. I wouldn't know. But just knowing humans well enough, I know that it doesn't matter. We would end up rooting something some way, other how. Someone's always going to get the bad end of the stick. So I don't know. Because I've seen that history play out so much in our history books. In America or in other countries, just something always hits the fan because humans do something stupid. Maybe out of a good, intelligent idea, but then they end up looking foolish in the end. Like whenever they imprisoned every Asian person because they thought they were Japanese, and then they had to rebirth them for their losses and couldn't even give them back their houses because they gave it to somebody else. That was a foolish time in America. Made out of fear and had nothing to do with politics, just fear. Science. It was fun to watch science projects go and do things. Though, I was probably better in math. But, yeah. Probably science. I never got to the point where I could blow stuff up with chemistry, but that's okay. It's probably for the best. Probably for the best. Not to mention, by the time I think I started doing chemistry, I think most of it was online stuff anyway, so I couldn't even do anything like that anyway. Building away. So much to do. Great. It's raining. Fun time. I don't think your questions are random though, Nicholas. I think they're just fine. So science, when you first start learning science, it's a general science course, so you learn a little bit about everything. And then as you progress in the grades, you start learning about specific ones like environmental, or biological, basically. Biology, chemistry, physics is usually how it will go when you progress to the grades. You don't learn about every science, but you just kind of get a general understanding of what you need to know based on what the US says you need to know. So that's usually how science works here in America. So, but I just say science because that usually just covers everything in the sciences. So, but I basically just mean like the sciences in general. I probably would have liked biology the most. The zoologist dream, right? So I never got to fulfill that, but I did like studying about animals and how the environment worked. Yes, it is a subject early on, and you're basically learning about the land masses and where everything is located. So like, where's Egypt? Where's the Middle East? Where's Europe? Where's South America? Where's North America? Where's this? Where's that? And then it gets a bit more specific, like where's this place? Where's that place? Like, where's Madagascar? Where's New Zealand? Where's Iraq? Where's Egypt? Kind of thing. It also talks about like how land masses are. So like hills and mountains and how they're structured. And that stuff, as well as how to like kind of coordinate locations. Things like that, if I remember right. But yes, it is a subject pretty early on for us in America. I think it's like somewhere like in like elementary school. Late elementary school. Like 5th or 4th grade. If I remember correctly. I know at the end of this I'm just going to basically look like a cube with a mouth at the end of this thing on this build. No. I'm just going to fill this in, I don't care. Just so I can get up here. Looks pretty good for a gradient. I think it just needs some, like, andesite right there, though. I need to go some point and make andesite thing. Oh, well. Sorry, I heard sounds. I mean, I wouldn't say that everyone's bad at it. It's not that it's badly taught. It's just not something of a skill that is really considered, I guess, like a jobly skill or something. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't think it's taught poorly, though. I don't know if maybe Americans are just bad at it. I don't know. I mean, there's not really much to do with the subject anyways. You know, everything's kind of already been like, you know, most of the islands and locations on the Earth has already been, like, kind of geographically found. There's still a few locations popping up, like islands, but that's about it, all that's left. So, there's really not much of a need for geography anymore. Could be wrong. And I take that, so take that with a bit of salt, but... yeah. It's not as necessary of a subject anymore as it once was. Back, like, during when everything was being explored and everything. Okay. No worries, man. I had fun, too. Alright, Peppery. I'm happy you showed up, man. It's always good talking to you. You show up, you show up. Not, don't worry about it. I'm gonna be on for, like, another few hours, so... so if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. See you, brother. I wish you the best, my man. Bum 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 bum. Watch. Oh my gosh, it's still gotta go so much higher. Ah! That's okay. I do want to do something before I continue, though. Let's just pray real quick. Heavenly Father, I thank you for Nicholas, Lord, and his personality and everything that he is, Lord. And I'm just thankful for him, Lord, and his soul. I understand he's struggling with his beliefs, Lord, and I understand that he's an atheist. I do pray, though, that you crack the logic of his brain and everything in his heart to help him see more of you, Lord, or within your will, Lord, and as you would. Thank you for him, Lord, and everything that he stands to me as a friend and person in this world, Lord, and the value he possesses in your name. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. I feel like I need to do that before I continue. It gives me a break as well. Golly, there's so much more to build. Bum, bum, bum. I mean, so far it's only took like an hour and a half, so I can't really complain. I mean, I could, but I won't. No point in it. Yep. I saw that. And unfortunately, that cave crevice is only so big. I didn't realize this thing would be so massive. I would continue that thing going up. So after this, I probably am going to do a platform in the middle of, like, wood or something. Maybe. Not sure yet what I want to do. I'm thinking there may be logs or planks. Not of redwood, though. Mixed with some format of stone. This is all basically just the platform for the actual building that has to actually get built after this to hold all the different trains. Which part of me is kind of hoping I should be able to like make like angles. But I'll have to see how that works out. Basically, I mean by that, just make like angled tracks. And then they would have their little train station corner if I can make that happen. If not, we'll have to work with something else. The way I just hope this thing's big enough to make it work. If not, I guess I could always make a rotating platform as well. There is that option. So that way the platform can just rotate and then deposit the train. Almost there. Just a little bit more suffering. It's also another thing I need to automate as well, is just stone generations. That way multiple kinds of stone can be created. Up, up, up. It's all left. These things has to go higher. Unfortunately. I'll use a few more blocks so everything can fit. Or just right onto the trailway without too much work. Alright, so this thing has to go about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more blocks. Oh. The suffering will not end. Wait. Okay. That being said, there should be spirits by now, so about time I take a nap. Alright, let's make sure everything's okay and safe. Alright. My bed. I generally might just finish this and the cakes and then literally just call it a day. Or for today's stream, I don't know yet. There's just a lot of stuff to build, a lot of stuff to get done in this whole project that has to get done. Still figuring that out. All I will say is once I get that crafting one, I'm going to be so grateful. Probably could have automated that before I even automated this. or built this, but I feel like I'm actually be a bit more prouder of the actual project being done when it's finally appreciative, not proud, appreciative when it's all done. I can already tell it needs more depth or more transition, like some andesite between like the tuff and the cobble or something. Actually, maybe not even that. Maybe just actually put andesite at the very bottom. I'll have to figure it out. I just know this is basically just a sheer cliff of a place. Oh. I nearly ran out. Come on. Does look good though. Does have that shape I wanted to get. There maybe have to be some smoothing out at some point to make everything kind of smooth out, but that'll be in the future. I'll have to make another decor day to decorate everything. I'm here. Imagine I only need like that many stacks. Probably didn't even need to put it in the backpack, to be honest. Let's go back over here and do all the iron stuff. Placing all that down to make that place look good. Oh, that's actually not a bad cliffside. I could use that for some type of production facility. Which I may try to do at some point. And I'm too hungry. I bet that second I get done... Second I eat, I can just start flying immediately again. As if the thing would just wouldn't lose all momentum. But we do not question the masters. We're... trying to think what else I can also add to this cliff side to make it look more nicer later on. So I know smoothing out would be nice, kind of making it meld into like the cliff side here on the sides and everything. On like the hillside. I could see maybe adding like a waterfall at some point, maybe. That would be nice. That also would be good. Thinking maybe stalactites, maybe? No. Maybe inside the cave mouth. Or inside like this little, like, inward thing, but no. Also be a good addition. I'm generally not sure. So I think actually with the size of this actually could be the mob farm. This could literally just be the mob farm. As I've come to realize now. But I won't do that. I made a whole building for that. But I guess if I need more mob space, I can use the bottom part of the very bottom part of this as a mob space. Mine out the rest and turn it into a mob grinder as well. For now, it's alright. Back, Heike. Bruh. And done. So now the connecting part's gonna be a bit difficult. But there is enough space here to do all the trains in the way I was thinking, where I basically just have angled tracks. That is provided I can also put the train stations there. But at least this way they could all have a place to go. And if I remember right, the trains do wait for each other. So like if they're actually are gonna intersect, they will wait for each other. So if there's ever that issue, I may need to consider making alternative routes for the trains. So that if they ever have to come back and forth, they can just kind of intertwine and not worry about it. So at some point I'll have to go out there and find a good flat space and try to make a detours so that the train can come through. Okay. That'll be something to worry about once I get everything else done, but for now, once I start doing the generation of stuff. Alright. As I said, I think I want to do this out of wood. But definitely not the redwood. You know, let's take old... Let's go take old Jerome here, or whatever his name is, and go across the street real quick. To the old farm. This reminds me of the Lone Ranger. Riding on the railway tracks on a horse. In the industrial era in the Western cowboy era, we still riding horses across railway trains. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is it full? No. Holy frick. What happened? Oh, it just can't receive it all so fast. Holy frick. Alright, so this is all the food items. Mangrove would be kind of cool. Aspen would be nice. Acacia, I'm trying to remember what I have here. Cherry. Witch hazel, definitely not. I ain't building an Irish fir, maybe. Spruce, maybe. Let's just go with good old oak. This stuff hasn't let me down yet. Do I want to do planks or do I want to do logs? I think logs. Okay. Yeah, that thing's gonna add so much more better ambience to this, because honestly, this trees have really been a good addition. And that's gonna be a good addition to that side. I think I might still put trees on that side, but not big ones. Well, maybe big ones, but I don't know yet how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna do like variety or not. Something to consider when I get to that point. Oh, burn down. There you go, drum. Thanks for the ride. Yes, 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 I know. You guys are all a little upset about the factory situation. Oh, what do I want? The problem is they don't really have many, like, connective textures. I won't lie, I think I like either the firewood or this one. I think I like the center cut. Right. And that does cause an issue. Yep, that's what I sleep on. Scaffolding, definitely. Yeah, I think I like that texture. Looks good. I really wish I had a magnet. Has this unique texture to the wood, so make everything look a little bit supported, make it a nice little look, color. I'm guessing if you stripped it, I guess it would kind of have like a different look to it. Can you strip these? No. Wait, I know how these work. Nope, okay, we cannot strip these. That is fine by me. And then once this is all built and made, underneath this thing is going to be where all the processing goes for bronze and the metals, as I said. And then they will probably be stored somewhere over here underneath this, or on top. I'm not sure yet. It will depend on the room I get for after I put on all the trains. So I don't doubt I'll be able to have no problem to store all this. It might be a little issue. Looks so nice. Thankfully, I have enough wood to spare. More than enough. I feel like it needs like an extra edge. Not sure yet what I would do though. I'm sure I'll figure it out in time. Then again, it could really matter because the whole cliff's all going to be basically turned to something else. Did you turn off that? Don't care about that. Don't care about that. That or this. I don't know why that went off and turned on my phone. Gosh, that is some advanced darkness underneath. Like I said, I may have accidentally made a mob farm. Maybe. Bruh. Bum, 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 bum. Bruh. Guess I could do that, break it up too, and use that for like the walls. So I'm not sure yet. Just feels like the outer edges of the cliff need some type of layering. Between the wood and this. Yeah, this ain't probably gonna be enough. I'm gonna need a few more logs. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Smack that down and place the rest. Done. Oh, I feel so bad. All the wood's all gonna be crisscrossed with all the railways because they ain't gonna be on the same angle. Unfortunately, there's no way to fix that. It's gotta be a nice timber floor. Ay, caramba. There. Bruh. I just wish I had more logs, which I do have more, I just don't have to go grab them. That's kind of my idea on the edges. Maybe using that to break everything up with the logs and maybe some fences of some kind, maybe wicker fences. Which is going to take sugar cane, but honestly it might be worth it. For some reason this has like a texture of almost like a cooked pork chop. Barbecue cooked pork chop. It's already rendering it on the mini-map, oh my goodness. A nice light brown tan object. Ooh. Probably think I maybe like a few more stacks of wood from the farm. Yeah. That's pretty far considering that was like only like a full inventory worth. So I actually need to make a quarter of the inventory left to fill that in. Come on, turn around. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. It's on the flip side. I should just need that. Come. Like, I really wish I didn't do all these S's. I wish it was more of a straightaway, but it's a bit convoluted to do all that. Yep. Oh, I first have to go texture all these. Before I forget. Well, I need sleep anyway. It's not where I meant to go, but I need sleep anyway. There's nothing but redwood and dirt. And the stones. Okay. This should hopefully be the last bit of wood I need. Hopefully. Need that back. Bruh. I really just gotta start doing it in straight lines. There. Better. Those placed. Next, I really gotta do the retexturing on the cliff when I'm done. On another time, but not today, but another time when I gotta do retexturing and stuff. Because I know there's still some things that have not been retextured, like the roofs. The walls have been, the towers have been, but the buildings have not. Always got to redo all the retextures and stuff. We might have enough. Maybe not. I don't get how like a full inventory makes it that far, but this can't make it that far. I'd say probably the same amount as what I'm going to need in order to make the rest. Fudge. Almost there. Hey Jay, welcome back. Still working on the train, man. Still working on train. Or the train junction. Where everything will be when everything's said and done. So, still working on it. What are you up to at the moment? These away, I don't need them anymore. Probably just need that much. I'm gonna hope. Again with the rain. It's so much rain. Okay. What are all pro codes anyway? Wait, I gotta go retexture them. Oh, okay. So you're just playing it with basically just the basics. Okay. That's fair. I mean, it's possible to beat the game like that, so that makes sense. Is that something you actually have to apply to the game, or is that something you just have to choose not to do? Is that something you actually have to turn on as like a setting in the game, or is that something you just have to choose not to do? To just basically not use those things? Okay, so it's a setting. Okay. That's fair. Are you trying to beat everything and everybody in the game, or are you just trying to finish the game? I can't. Unless I want to just forget about it. Well, I imagine it's not meant to be a piece of cake. It's meant to be like the Dark Souls version of that game. That game's already like it's Dark Souls. After a little while, anyway. At the beginning, it's fine, but after a while, it does become kind of like a Dark Souls. It's done. I don't have enough wood, or else I'll do more stuff with it, but that's fine. It's alright. Ow. Looks good. Okay, I do need to make like a little pathway for myself, so. Just so I can walk over to this thing. I don't know if I ever will. Like I said, that's up to God, not me, man. You know, God's choices. Not my own. Right now, this is where I'm sitting. And staying. But like I said, if I do, you'll know. It's not like I can hide it. I'm still not even sure what Remind's about anyway. Maybe you can enlighten me? Alright, cool. That gives me a nice little bridge to come all the way over here. It's not perfect, but whatever. My main goal right now is just to break up all these textures. So that way it's not all wonky. And I'll be darned if this is not big enough for trains. I only need 4 different trains, so. Then I'll have to design them, which will be fun. Just gotta become a train designer. Oh no, I don't have enough. No! You know what? That's probably not needed, actually. And I don't need this one here all the way at the end. But I'll leave it. And that just kind of breaks up the texture, so I know that there's a wall there. So, now comes the next part, which is taking tracks and leading them where they gotta go. Which means I'm gonna need some blackstone and some rails. Which I'm not exactly sure how many I'm actually gonna need, so. And then blackstone. Should be fairly cheap. Or even deep slate. I guess I could also use deep slate. But I already got so much blackstone. Only 4. I only need 4, so. Alright, that should be enough for 4. Okay. Let me put this one here. Very straight line. And that's where I knew it was going to happen. So, the choice to fix this is to do one thing. And that's basically just to connect the trains here. Unfortunately. That should be enough space. Give or take. Actually, though, before I do that... I mean, I agree it's enough space, but I want more. Sure. That looks better. Which means basically what's going to happen is that trains are going to have to do some wonky crap. This isn't a good idea. I'm just going to make them straight. As much as I really want them to do this, it just ain't going to work out with everything. If anything, I just got to figure out how far can I go in terms of turn radius. Oop. Well, that seems like there's a decent turn radius. So there is some conceptual idea to this. Here. And then maybe here. I mean, how many space am I doing it? That seems good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks good. Should work out fairly well. Not allows trains to come in and out as they need. Deposit their goods and then leave. And then I'll just have to make sure I set it to a schedule to where they're all a bit off timing. Some of them have to travel a lot farther than the others. Unfortunately. But they all have a place. And I only need 4, so... Bring it in nice and tight. Bring it in nice and tight. I just need to set these down first, so that way I don't have to think about it. There. That makes it so much easier. Cool. And then basically there will be a area over here in which all the items will be flown up into item areas which I can collect from. And over here will be the area in which I do something with it. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do with this area yet. I'm thinking. Actually, I could make the brass generation setup over here. That seems a bit weird. Actually, I do have one idea what I could do, but it's going to take a lot of work. And that would be setting up all the wooden mechanisms and all the different mechanisms over here. Well, for now, it's another time. It's another problem in another time. Right now, I have a bit more other precedenting matters to tend to. For instance, making these. Huh. That should be good. I like that. So, Oh, I guess, yeah, that just makes sense. In my mind, I'm thinking, like, how the heck am I supposed to put these down? I don't think I'm going to strip these, but maybe I should. Yeah, I probably should. Distinguish outside from inside. Ah, it's not high enough. Fudge. Okay. New. Alright, then I gotta shed the half side of this one. Oop. Looks good. Looks like a nice, good train depot. Still thinking about doing diorite, to be honest. I should just leave that bare. I'm gonna touch it. Boom, boom, boom. Bum, bum, bum. Looks good. Is that there? It's there. Perfect. Looks okay. Doesn't look perfect, but it does look good. And that'll basically be the entrance hall for all the trains. So they can come in and go as they need. I think I might have broken yet. Still gotta get mending on that. Everything else has mending but that. Probably that far out, because I do want to have some room. So that puts it right there. Perfect. Right now I'm just getting the struts up, and then I'll have to pick later about where I want to put all the different middle parts. Yeah, I think I should just want it to be like an area. It won't have like an arch like these, but I do want this to be like an area for something. Ow. I guess I will have to make another setup here. Right here at the corner. There we go. Giant train hall. So let's get finished. So here's my question. Do these look terrible with that? Like, they don't look bad as support beams, I won't lie, but I think redwood does not look good as the other blocks I tend to use. Blackstone's too dark, Tuff's too much. Maybe basalt. I don't have a lot of basalt, and I know that there's some in the nether, but just want to see how much I have left over. Costs do deep slate, deep slate. It does have a lighter color texture than regular deep slate. It does have that rough, somewhat rough texture I would like. And you know what? I'm not exactly against it. I take whatever I have and go ham and then go snag some more. So these will be an inward layer. Just want to get the height right. And I guess what'll happen, I guess it'll actually just be like a giant overarching arc in this somewhere. Which I'll come in through. So I can actually access the inside of the train depot. Or the train junction. I could also use it for a storage system. Nah. Because then the situation comes, and I gotta come all the way over here and do stuff here. God's grace. I almost thought I was even on along the right line. Part of me kind of wants to go semi-London style with this, with like arcs over the top. I think that could look really nice. Especially with like glass arcs. maybe with copper, I don't know yet. Ooh. Well, what are you gonna do? I see that coming, but I don't have a choice. That's fine. That one top piece will be a little different, and that's okay. That worked out better. Trying to make these inner layers work right is such a pain. I doubt I'll make doors for these. That's one thing I probably will not be making. Ow. Looks good. That looks good. Ew. Plop, 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 and plop. I'm starting to like this texture. Looks good. And I have plenty to finish. At least I think. As for the arcs I have to go, I'm going to have to figure that out afterwards. I gotta go somewhere special. Then again, maybe not. I mean, it is just a doorway. Doesn't need to be like an actual arc. But, we'll see. Or arch. Really, my main goal is just to make this place solidified, and then I think I'll probably worry about the trains next time. Maybe. There's a lot to build. I didn't place anything on that terribly. I think this reminds me of like shale. At least the texture kind of flaky and looks like it came from like molten rock. So that kind of fits that theme of old London, I think. Almost perfected perfection in their eyes. Okay. One more layer. See one small hole that wants to be a doorway. There. Cool. So I guess how I'll do the hoops is I'll do it for each train. Basically. And that's how each train will have its different hoop. Which means I'm going to get more logs out. So like this one would be here. This one would be here. This one would be here. And this one would be here. And these are basically where all the glass will connect and all the different wooden struts that would keep it up. Perfect. Should probably connect these. It's not like anything's gonna be seenable anyway. And then this doesn't need a strut. But I may still add it just for convenience. At least on one side. Right, because I never put a secondary. That's okay. But you've lost nothing of value. Nothing of value was lost. Biggest problem with this I've come to realize is going to be the glass. I'm going to need a lot of glass. Which means I'm going to have to go to one of the deserts and mine all the sand. Destroy a whole biome. Oh! Alright, well, there's the struts. So now, gotta go around and get some glass and then come back. First things first. Bruh. Okay. Goes away. That away. Takes a quick nap. Then I need to go get some sand. Nearest place for sand is on the beaches. Or just in general in the water, I guess. Probably would be the best bet. No, I have not taken out that moped very much, and I would very much like to now. Okay, so I gotta go get some fuel. Well, I happen to know a very good, reliable fuel that I have just infinite amounts of, and that is biofuel. I just have an infinite amount of it. Darn near infinite, anyway. For goodness sake. So I don't imagine this thing could take damage, right? Here's a piece of metal. At some point I will create boosters to make this thing go faster. But today is not that day. Honestly, my horse is faster than this, to be honest. Don't even try it. Probably just take a helicopter back, honestly. This is not worth the time and effort it takes to drive this thing all the way over here. I'm sorry, Minefinder. There's a couple bits of sand. Revile. Don't need clay. Take sand. It's probably nothing else, you know, I mean, it's just glass production. Just a small amount of it, just so at least that way I can have it on hand. Which honestly, if I had that giant cobblestone farm, it wouldn't be exactly hard to do. I just have to divert some cobblestone away for my own needs. Where are we at? A little more. No blue sand. I don't want any of the blue sand. I don't want to ruin this pocket of the beach. Alright. One more dig and then that should be enough sand for me for a while. I always think held like 3 people, I think it said. of cool if we have more. That's another thing I also need to add is probably like a landing strip at some point. Just so that way I can just have these things get parked. And if and whenever I ever need them, they're just there and ready for use. But until then... Let's see... Lava. Should only take a few minutes. Anything else right? I forgot about the wither roses I had made. Oops. Definitely don't want to do windows, because I don't think the glass is going to turn out how I want. I'm thinking like these bar ones, maybe? The vertical leaded glass. Maybe even this one. Also all these fancy glasses if I ever colored them. Not glad I thought about coloring my glass. I have considered it. So if I connect 4 clear glass, it'll connect, huh? Why not? We could do that. We can just do connected glass and call it a day. Put rings on it or something with, like, blackstone or something to make it work. That may not be a bad idea. That may not be a bad idea at all. Yeah, because I can't find any other versions of it that I could agree with. Brr. Alright. That's the choice I have to go with. That's the choice I have to go with. Oh, so that way I'm not just sitting here waiting for time to pass. Okay. I'll leave this behind, let that stuff work itself out. Go throw the stuff on the roof. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that sucks. Okay, so I gotta remember to do that with grace. So this is the middle one, huh? That's fine. I can live with that. One, two, three, four. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. This is the fiver. Perfect. Four, 3, 3. And then last but not least, I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do the inlay. Not sure what I want to do that out of yet. Nevertheless, it's gonna have a bit more of a futuristic design, but that's okay. And I'm out. Maybe not. Kind of want him just to kind of be like a small dome. So, hold on. Oh, I should have placed one first. Take him. There. That's better. Two, three. 2, 3. So there. This one there. This one there. Okay. That slowly starts forming the dome shapes that I want. As for this, I don't know what to do with it. I might just put tile. Like half slabs on it. Just call it good. I'm not sure yet. But I will figure that out when I get to that point in time. I don't need that. That. Put that out again. Quite the hunky-dory amount of glass. Two, 3, 4. I'm gonna try just with that much, and then we'll go from there. Actually, what's this? Salt. I may have to do some basalt. Or some type of column structure. That does seem appropriate. Or even some copper. And then just let it age. I do have the copper for it. May not be a bad shout. Just gonna place these and I'll come back and mine them away. You. That's the wrong type of glass. Three. 2. Sick. 3. I guess I just have to put like a solid block on the back of these and then put tiles in between because that's how usually the roofs were built. So, it's going well. Making a train depot. Or a train hall, basically. How's work? Or home early, or am I wrong? Should I let you come home early? Something? Everything is going well. Oh. So, are they going to be okay, or...? I mean, I know it's none of my business, but are they going to be okay without you? Okay. Well, I guess I'm happy you're home. Did you want to come home? Or was this more of like a forced thing? Like you had to go home? No? So it was more of like a you just need to go home and get better and then... Yeah, okay, I get you. Well, at least you showed up. That's something. I mean, that's something. At least, you know, at least you showed up. So. I'm happy you're home. This part's just taking a while. Try to make all the roofing like old London. Still debating what to do for the middle part struts, but for now it's just glass. Probably could do blackstone. That'd be a good strutting material. Still not sure yet though. Boom, boom. Swear I heard something. Okay. I think it's really just gonna be across, straight across. Yeah, pretty much just that. Probably won't design the trains today. I've kind of said that already, but I probably won't design them today. That'll be next project. So try to figure if I want to detail them into a certain way, the way I want them to be. Like if they want to be particular to their different items, like iron train, the gold train, the copper train, the zinc train. That would look kind of funky to see a golden train transporting gold. Though it would help identify everything a lot easier. Ow. Yeah, so yeah, let me go grab the other materials I need. I just need to grab some, I think blackstone. Sounds good. If I remember correctly, I actually have some in my backpack, waiting to be used. Now, I want to make these columns. I don't know if that's even a possibility with this stuff. I want to make those columns. Ah. Yes, please. These columns should do nicely. This has to get removed anyway. Ew. Bum, 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 bum. I don't think I want to do an outer edge, though. I think it's just going to be the inner edge. Sure, let me just jump off the nearest cliff. Frick me. Alright, then 1, 2, 3. I think I still want to do these columns. Like this. These just make sense to me. Yeah, it makes more sense. You don't. What the rest of you do? I hope I have enough blackstone, otherwise it's going to be very very unfortunate. Like a lie, I don't feel like I do. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna have enough. Yeah, I don't think I am. Bruh. I do like that though, it looks cool. Has the unique texture I like. Probably could save on Blackstone if I decided to just instead of doing like these giant archers, I actually took out like the middle slice, but just doesn't seem right. Yikes, that is rough. Well, I wonder, is there any way I can put this back together and make this back into solid? Nope. Fudge. Oh well. Probably have to go collect some more glass anyway, so I'll get to deposit some of the cobblestone to the haunter and Make blackstone from scratch. I'll do the middle one. I'll do the next one in a second. Oh, I missed this one. Oops. Didn't even realize. Oh, I didn't miss that whole. I missed the whole section. Take them. Oh, here. Fix that right away. There. At least that way I'll notice that the others are missing as well. Looks good. That looks good. I'm hanging on by my toes. Okay. Let me go make some more blackstone, then I'll come and finish this off. Shouldn't be but a jiffy. Oh, how much do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably not even that much, but at least gives me extra blackstone to use for later. Alright, so I should have enough glass. So I'm not worried about glass anymore. I can go put that up at least. I should have enough connecting glass to finish up the rest of the roof. Thankfully. And also because that thing's full. Just get rid of all those tracks. Oh, it's gonna be a minute. Fudge. That's actually what's holding this thing back. I'm pretty sure it's the fan that has to blow everything up. If I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's the only thing holding it back. Well, it's gonna take a minute, so I'm gonna go put up some stuff. I'm gonna go and cleanse my backpack out from all its existing things. This is gonna take a decent minute. Oh, let's see. That's not the right one, dingbat. The glass can go in there. The cobble can go in there. The tough and the deep slate. And all these other fandanglings. And honestly, I am just gonna throw this away. Because I have infinite amount of those, so... I do not give a flying flip. These logs, on the other hand, need to go. Yes, they do. I'm probably just gonna get this glass part done and probably call it a day. Alright. Well, if that ain't enough blackstone, then call me Sally. That looks so sick. That looks so cool. I didn't really think it was actually gonna come out looking like a train depot, to be honest. Thought this stuff was honestly gonna come out looking like junk. Bum 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 bum. Yep. Well, they all look finished, so. Once these are done, that'll be it for this part of the roof. Alright, so that's probably going to be something else. What I'm thinking about doing whenever I come back next time is making basically like an alpine roof, which is basically a flat wall with windows that'll let the light in, but then the roof just kind of has like this angle. The angle, I think, is going to come toward that way, so it's going to be like a triangle and then down. Now, not that low, but just something like that over here. This is mostly for like the daytime and then during the night. And then there'll probably be like vents. I probably won't do windows, I'll probably just do like slats of slabs. So it'll be kind of like a vented system, so that like any exhaust that would enter into this area would just vent. Probably. So that way, since that's probably where I would be doing, since I'm probably going to be using that basically for all the mechanisms that I got to use for coinage. So that'll be more than likely what happens. And then this area will be used for all the collection of all the different materials, which I'll put along the wall. I'm gonna leave these here. I'm also probably also gonna make like a little arch thing here for like entry and exiting. And then this is just to get to wherever I want to go on this train track. Speaking of which, I probably need to fix these and probably put something underneath them so I actually can walk on them at some point. Probably eventually need to put that on the list to fix. All in due time. That back to normal. That's fine. And something I was going to do real quick to see if I can finish up the quest. Take! Yay! How much do we have left over? Oh, for crying out loud. What a blooming shame. I guess I could make cake slices. That would work. Okay. Ah! Keep doing the wrong button. Dash darn it! And then they can go in my little basket. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Hey, Callan, how you doing? Oh, man. Six of silvers, 2 operator tokens. I could probably buy a corkscrew with that, and or a compass. I probably just need to get chorus fruit if I'm gonna make teleporting a thing, man. How you doing today, Kellen? Okay, go ahead. I was gonna work on the Alpine anyway, might as well. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you, Callan. I hope you enjoy yourself, at least. What to make it out of? Maybe oak? I don't know. It seems wrong since I built out of redwood. It seems like they just right just to make it out of redwood again. The oak would go hard. Hey, I do have blackstone. I have a lot of blackstone left over. Let's do a cracked deep slate. Let's do it out of the, or not cracked deep slate, but just deep slate bricks. That could work. It's a similar color. Oh, wow, I cannot read. Okay, Callan. Dewey. Yeah, I think I'll just do bricks. It makes sense. Thank you, man. Appreciate the follow, man. Hope you're doing well. How's your holidays? And some tiles. Don't have any. Followed. It's okay. We all miss the L's. All good. Yeah, how's your holidays? Hope they were well. I'm gonna take a stack of those and turn those into slabs. I'm gonna take another half stack, turn those into slabs, and then the rest can all be turned into the bricks. Alrighty. Let's get to crafting. Eventually I'll put arcs here. I don't know when, but I will. Yeah, this looks okay. I might add some stairs later to these to make them kind of a bit more flatter, or more like linear, but for now it's fine. So, my goal was to go up in this direction, so... I'm crying out loud. Looks like it will have to extend out. That's fine. Brick, brick, brick. Brick, brick. Oh, it's outside. I'm going crazy. Goes there. Oh wait, that doesn't go there. Whoops. Nope. Oh, there it goes. I hope none of the tiles went below. Doesn't look like they did. Brother! That's fine. So that'll be tiles. Okay, let me just get these wall sides done so that way I don't have to think about it. That'll make my life a lot less of a headache. So if you know that's tile, that's the same, that's a tile. That goes there. And then I think we go one more and then just cap it off, but let's see how this looks before I just go with the flow. Let's see. That looks decent. That looks decent. I think it's rid of all the extra deep slate I had just lying around anyway. And this is slabs again. So I definitely don't want this going much higher than the actual roof of the other stuff as well. I don't want this stuff getting too high. Second that happens, it's going to be a bit of a problem. That. So do I go again? I don't think I do. I think we just strut it across now. Yeah, never mind. We just make a flat roof now. It basically creates this pocket of air, and then everything gets dispensated through the roof. Okay. This is gonna be a solid part. Oop. These all get connected. And that'll have a bit of a roof on it as well. Okay. Now... basically these little slats that'll allow airflow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4. Okay, so let's fix this then. So I know this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 5. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. There we go. That fixes about everything. So this goes here, this goes here. This just gives it that idea of airflow anyway. Of course, doesn't actually do anything. I'm sure there's got to be a way to animate smoke from the sides. I don't know how I would do that though yet. I do imagine there would be a way to do it. Okay. And we'll just go do some full bricks. I have to do some different colors, but the roof is finished now. I seal everything up anyway. This will just allow everything just to kind of go out into the wind. Whatever machinery I decide to do in this little corner. Bruh. Yeah, one job. Hui. I hope I don't need you. I have slabs. Jerkwad. Dillweed. I still gotta do some with the side walls. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I am gonna have to do something with this side. Not sure yet. I know something has to get done over here. Probably just in forms of slabs, I think. I really do think slabs are just gonna basically be the answer to this problem. Now, for the keen eye in the viewership, you may understand what I'm looking at as a problem. There's no black splings here. Oh, I have to fix that later. My gosh, this is advanced darkness. Holy frick. It's cool though, I like it. It definitely has that train vibe. And I should be able to walk through here and access everything I need to access, and then come this way to walk. I have to back these up a bit. That's alright. Hey, why are you out of whack? Oh. Oops. There we go. That looks nice. Gives the alpine feel. While being factorial in nature. Cool. Probably wants to add fans now to make kind of all the exhaust blow that way, but whatever. I guess I could theoretically leave like parts of the sides open to kind of be like a venting system. Would be a bad idea. I'm not gonna do that right now, but maybe later. Kind of act like a vent. Either way, all trains can exit at their free will, and at some point I will also add a down there somewhere along the track a bypass system so they can bypass each other if need be. Because at some point they will have to bypass one another. So I'm gonna have to add a lot of those bypasses, honestly, probably. Keep things flowing. And I imagine they will use the bypasses, I hope. Because they're just gonna try to go from point A to point B without too much problems. So. Wow, that is an image from the sky. Even tells me where my trains are, too. Oh, look at that distance, bruh. Land and sea, man. Land and sea. Oh, the madness I had to go through in order to get this done was insanity. But whenever you go through these train rides, it's so beautiful. Don't they all like different biomes, especially like this one. This was such a beautiful train ride. And then ends up all the way back here by the Veritam. By the Azurine. There's also iron over there. I could make the iron trip as well if I wanted to. There's also some Azurine right there for some reason. Is that another Azurine vent? No, it's not. Interesting. Interesting. Whatever. I'm just looking at what else is like around the area. See if it's even worth my time to try to harvest anything else in that area. Not gonna lie, Chiefs, they don't seem like it. But that's the goal next time, is to start working on getting the train set up, and then working on getting a few other things set up. There's an azurine vent closer. There's an azurine vent closer. There's an azurine vent closer. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It was closer. Kill me. In game. Man, that would have saved my journey by so much. There's another one here! And here! Suffering. Suffering, 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 suffering pain. So much closer. Spent so long looking for those, I couldn't find one. Now they show up. In my view. Some bull crap is what it is right here. I may genuinely redo that rail line just to get those two. Because that is not only closer, it is so much more manageable. And there's two of them, too, right next to each other. I could literally just lead the line back. I could literally have it stop at one, pick up, go to the other one, pick up, and then leave. Like, that's how sad it is. It would be such a good system. I guess I could theoretically turn that into the iron line, since there's an iron deposit out that way anyway. That would be a case for wonder. And those could just be turned into... And I could just divert a track that way. Because this is just one Crimsonite vent, and I'm not really all that energetic about the idea. In all honesty. Things to think about. Things to think about. Either way, that's a next time thing, because I gotta work on different stuff to get to that point. And the infrastructure that's needed to do that, which is making all the different things, and then getting those connected, getting this connected, getting that done, this done, that done, this done. It's insanity. I just wish that this would have been closer, to be honest. This would have been nice if it was closer. But this is like the closest varium vent, so... Luckily, I might have to find a way to load chunks somehow. Because I know trains will go to the location without me having to load the chunks, so... I may have to consider doing that somehow. Either way, dogs are going to basically be running this whole menagerie of craziness. Basically, have some dogs birthed, and we'll have them get on the trains, or maybe even villagers. I think villagers can be used for training, for trains. Maybe give it. Oh, it'd actually be a good use for the nitwits. If they actually can be used for that, it'd actually be a good use for these nitwits. And there's 4 of them too, so give Space Captain his room again. Poor guy's been trapped in there with those guys. In any case, though, y'all, I have run out of time. I was gonna stop a little earlier, but I stopped. I want to continue with this and just kind of finish that off, because, like, 2 seconds. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely had fun today. It was nice and fun. Learned something, saw some new things that I could definitely change about everything, so hopefully get that done next time. And hopefully see you guys next time. I do wish you guys all the best. God bless, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Appreciate all the subs and follows, and we'll see you guys then. God bless, and peace.